I'm here in Hong Kong with Lucien Wong, the chairman and senior partner of Allen Gledhill, the largest and one of the most prominent law firms in Singapore. Lucien, I will always remember the time we first met 20 years ago, and you said to me that Singapore is the Zurich of Asia. Can you talk a little bit about the role of Singapore in global commerce and the commerce of the region?
Sure, Ralph. That was 20 years ago. We were hoping to be the Zurich of Asia, but I'm pleased to say that today, I think Singapore is the Zurich of Asia. We are the leading private wealth management center in Asia, primarily due to Asia's growth. The newly created wealth in Asia over the past years, they have to look for a home, and I think a lot of newly minted Asians would prefer to put their monies in an Asian location, and Singapore is ideal for that. We have a strong government. We have a strong observance of the rule of law. We've got a stable country. So if you got wealth, like Switzerland, we are also seen to be neutral. So we managed to attract rich Asians to place their funds with us in Singapore. That's on the private wealth management side, but also for multinationals. Singapore is an ideal place for them to locate their Asian headquarters. So you do have multinationals with a lots of expatriates in Singapore covering Asia.
So it has become a center, as you say, that is one of the most important in the world for commerce of many kinds, based on those factors that you've outlined, one of which is the rule of law. Obviously, lawyers and law firms are very important to Singapore's vitality. In recent years, you've had as many as 140 foreign law firms open in Singapore. Can you talk about how the foreign firms and the indigenous Singapore firms work together?
Sure, Ralph. Singapore wants to be a hub for many things. Law is just one of them. So we want to be a legal hub. So to be a legal hub, you need to attract foreign law firms. You can't just grow Singapore law firms and they wouldn't be able to serve all the clients that Singapore want to serve. So we need to have foreign firms in Singapore. So we open our doors to them. So a lot of the foreign firms come in not wanting to practice Singapore law. They're very clear in their strategy. They want to be able to serve their clients from the home countries mainly, and serve them throughout Southeast Asia and Asia. So the majority of these foreign firms don't intend to practice Singapore law, and they don't have a Singapore law license. So we work with all these foreign firms. If they need local law advice, not only in Singapore but outside Singapore, and we can talk about how we serve them outside Singapore later. So we work hand in hand with them. But there's some foreign firms, with a Singapore law license, and with these firms, unfortunately, we do compete with them.
Right. But with the majority, they are here to serve clients from outside of Singapore on transactions that are cross-border.
That's correct.
All right. Now, you mentioned serving clients from Singapore elsewhere. Over recent years, Allen Gledhill has opened a network of offices outside of Singapore, and I'd like you to talk about what you have done and why you have done it.
Singapore's a small legal market, so if you want to grow your law firm, the natural thing to do is to look outside Singapore. So, like I said just now, Singapore's a hub. So we want to have our own firms outside Singapore. We want to set up local law practices in Southeast Asian countries to serve our clients and to work with those foreign law firms who would need local advice in those Southeast Asian countries where they don't have an office. So we had set up an affiliated firm in Malaysia 5 years ago. We opened up Yangon a year ago, and we have a smallish outpost in Vientiane. And we do intend to look at other Southeast Asian countries to see whether we need to have an office there.
And what are the most important considerations as you find lawyers to join you in these other countries? What are the most important considerations in your mind as you choose them?
We would like to have the top lawyers in those countries be part of us. So one of the important things that we look for would be the standing of that lawyer. So we would want the number 1 or the number 2 lawyer in the country to be part of our family.
So that the quality of legal service...
Absolutely, right. So we want, our clients expect us to deliver the same level of legal service in those Southeast Asian countries that they expect us out of Singapore.
And Singapore. So what else lies ahead for Allen and Gledhill?
I guess, Rob, is to make sure that our strategy of establishing a top Southeast Asian platform is accomplished. That's our priority now. So our strategy is really twofold. We would like to retain our standing as Singapore's leading law firm, and we'd like to have the strong Southeast Asian platform to serve our clients and also to work with foreign law firms.
Well, thank you, Lucien. Singapore is one of the most important hubs for law and commerce in the world, and having your insights is very valuable to everyone. Thank you.